Web Forms and workflows demonstration using the frevvo product. We've successfully implemented this solution in a number of HR examples as well as AP expense report requisitions, certainly also in schools and manufacturing customers as well. Hopefully you'll find some value in today's session. It is for HR onboarding. So I'm going to actually go to my HR onboarding, what we call space. So this is what a space looks like. Again, I have 3 different forms here, and it has its own web address. And again, you have almost like a web page where you can put anything you really want here. So I'm going to log in, and I'm Tom Tavares. So I'm Tom, and I want to fill out an application. So again, the application itself can be on your website. You don't have to use a space. This form itself here that you see, this is basically be embedded as a separate pop-up page. And so click here to apply on your website. So as you see, I have it filled in. I create the unique applicant ID, in this case 12345. And so you notice that it can't be modified or anything. It's just it's visible but not enabled. And then you have all sorts of drop-down capabilities here. The ability to have tabbed views, and here we're going to actually attach our resume cover letter. Okay, so I'm going to go into my sample documents here, grab my HR, and we're going to grab the resume. Okay, so we're going to hit the upload on that. Okay, so basically I'm going to utilize the Eclipse workflow capability here. Certainly could keep it in frevvo, but in this particular process, Tom's now applying for the job, and when he hits submit, it's now going to create that record in Eclipse. So we'll come in here and we go to our workflow queue, and Tom Tavares' application is here. Okay. So what we've done here is you'll notice on the left, we've simply put application and resume and Tom Tavares, and we have a received status. And the applicant ID is here. Now you'll notice, again, very much like we did before, this was just a blank form, and we overlaid all of Tom's information right on the physical form here, as you can see. So all the bold fields are from the mapping process. Okay. Now, if we go to the following pages here, if we go down, you'll notice that the attached resume actually comes in as a following pages in this case. So this was the resume that we had found. Now in our workflow, we have, has the applicant been approved to move forward? Because there's going to be a number of different downstream processes that will initiate. Specifically, the ability to interview that person, maybe run a background check, what have you. But essentially, once we want to approve this person to move to the onboarding process, when I hit approve, what's going to happen is this is going to generate an email notification that's going to go out to Tom. Okay, so Tom now gets a email notification. Okay, and it's going to see something like this here. Okay, so it says, "Hey, Tom, you got something new. You've basically passed the screening process. Let's onboard you." Now, when I click this, it passes that unique applicant ID, and we'll pre-fill in all the information we know about from that applicant ID. So in this particular case, maybe a week or 2 later, he's now onboarding. So Tom will come in here and he'll sign the form, okay? And you're going to go through this multi-step process. Now, as you see at the top, I've kind of abbreviated an HR onboarding package. I've also meshed in some of the benefit election forms that come along with this type of technology as well. As you see here, this is what a W-4 might look like. You'll notice that it auto-calculates your elections, and if I put in something that's not valid, so like 2 is not a valid expense in that particular case, you'll see that it allows me to move forward or not. I can also save the form at any point in time and come back to it at a later time once I know some more information. Again, we can attach any type of file. So in this particular case, I'm going to grab my check stub for my direct deposit form, sign this, Tom. And then as we continue through, it's going to ask a number of different questions. So you see here, this is the benefit elections for healthcare. Again, tabular information. So if you had to add multiple people, you can. 401k information. And it's going to overlay, you know, whatever this is. I think it's AIG here, Alliance. It's going to overlay their particular forms. Here's the I-9 process. You know, if you're not a citizen or you are, and then we continue. Now, here's the interesting part is you'll notice Tom is done at the confirmation step. So as it gets to the HR review step, Tom's never going to get there because that's actually part of a different role. So as you notice when, and I can click on these form viewers, the Federal 4 or the I-9, and when I click on it, you'll notice what it's actually filled out. So it just gives you a preview of that particular document all completed. So you see the signature and you see all the metadata that's overlaid on the federal form in this particular case. So when I hit send to HR, this is now going to be sent to the HR administrator and an email now comes in. So if we come in and we refresh this here, we can have Sue, who's now the HR manager, look at that particular form and approve it. So we're going to go to our HR onboarding. I'm going to log in here and I'm Sue. Okay, and so you'll notice under task list now, because Sue needs to take John's information, I'm sorry, Tom's information. So I'll select task list here. So task lists are essentially, you know, any items that, and you see them, they're actually segmented by forms. So the employee onboarding, HR onboarding. As you see employee onboarding here, May 9th at 10:25. I'm going to click that little button. And it puts Sue in the last spot that, in this particular case, John had left off on. Now, she can go back and click on any one of these forms to see what was entered. So we're going to be doing the I-9 verification, the ID verification process. So the person comes in with their information. I'm going to grab the passport. We're going to upload that passport photo. So using an iPad with a little camera on it, simply take a picture while you have this form up of the passport and any other supporting documentation. And once that's uploaded, we can now sign this as Sue. And when I hit finish onboarding, what's going to happen is it's now going to create all those documents for us and attach all the associated uploaded files. So basically, we've automated a lot of the process. There's no scanning, there's no metadata indexing or anything like that within this particular process. Now, when we go back and we want to look at Tom Tavares's information, we can certainly click on Human Resources, Tom Tavares, and see all the documents. As you can see, here's the I-9. It's 11 pages, so we scroll down. The document gets filled in, all the information's there, you know, easily accessible. Okay, and then, you know, certainly all the other documents here, the application resume, which we already looked at, the direct deposit form, the Blue Choice enrollment anthem form, the emergency contact form, you know, life insurance benefit form, and then the 401k enrollment form. So all of these forms get fully indexed and are all then searchable by Tavares, for instance. You see everything that's related to that, even the email that went out to notify him.